Staying sober with Papa Joey. It's all about your sobriety.
Welcome back to Staying Sober with Papa Joey. I'm Papa Joey, and it has been a while since I posted here on my channel. And there's a couple reasons for that. First reason was I had some personal issues that I needed to take care of, and it was a little difficult for me to focus on putting content out. Second was I had to reevaluate why I'm doing the channel. The reason I started this channel was because I was writing a book. Then it dawned on me, why not do a YouTube channel? You can keep putting content out there, and maybe you can reach more people than the book would. So that's why I started the channel. But I will have to admit, I got caught up with everything, meaning I was writing content because, first of all, I wanted to make sure it was good content, but I was trying to focus on, how many likes and subscribers I'm going to get, like I guess all YouTube content creators do. But that wasn't my purpose for doing this channel. It was actually to help people. And what made me come to that realization was for the past month or two on Facebook, and even before that, though, I'm getting inundated with all these advertisements for people wanting to help people get sober. They have a new hack. There's a new way to get sober. And most of it, or almost all of it, has to do with your money. They want money from you. And it bothered me. It still bothers me when I see it. And I'm not saying, if you're a coach or life coach or whatever, and you want to be paid for helping people, that's your business, okay? But when I first got sober, I walked into an AA room. Nobody asked me for any money other than they would pass the basket around, and, you might throw a buck or two in, whatever, but you didn't even have to pay there. So there were always people out there that were willing to help me, listen to me. And as I stated before, when I went to AA, I knew I was done drinking. I really felt it inside my heart that I was done. I gave up, man. I felt like I was beaten up. I couldn't live the life I was living anymore because of the drinking. So I just gave up, man. I just threw the towel in. I said, I'm done. And then I had to do something. So I went to AA. And I'm grateful that I did that because I've been 31 years sober, not bragging, but the early days of AA helped me. I met some great people there. It was also a place to go to. Of course, there was no alcohol, but you could always get into a conversation with somebody. And sometimes if you didn't feel like being alone, I was down here in Florida alone, it was a good place to go hang out. And later on, I want to say I progressed. I moved on from AA. But I'm thankful for it. But again, they were there for me and they didn't ask for a dime. But lately, everybody has their hands out wanting something from people. And, it just bothers me. So when I decided to come back on this channel and begin putting my podcasts out, I just want to make sure for myself that I'm doing it for the right reasons this time. And the reason this time is going to be the same reason as when I first started it. It was to help somebody. And I'm not going to focus on the likes or the subscribers or whatever. I'm mostly going to focus on hoping I put the right content out there so it helps the person watching. Because that's it. That's what it's all about. And for a brief time, I got away from that. Everything that I did earlier on, I meant. Everything that I wrote, I took the time to write and rethink and then reshoot and re-edit was because, I knew the content was good. But I also tried to tweak it a little so I get more people's eyes to view it. Now I'm just going to put the content out there that I know if somebody's struggling, it'll help them immediately. So I'll like to begin with what I always say this channel is all about, is you don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. That's one thing I always wanted to drill home on all my podcasts, was that saying. You don't drink no matter what, you don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. There's no excuses. You can't give yourself any excuses for picking up a drink or a drug if you're honest with yourself and you say you're done. A lot of people say they want to quit drinking. A lot of people say they want to quit drugging, but it's a temporary fix from a situation that they put themselves in because of their drinking or their drugging. For myself, I put myself in a lot of bad situations because of my drinking, but the last time I got drunk and made an ass out of myself, and I found out the following day, that's when I said, I'm done. I'm done. It's like being a boxer. You go in the ring, sometimes you win a few fights, other times you get the crap kicked out of you, but the final time you get knocked out and you stay down and you say to yourself, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to fight anymore. I had to stop thinking of myself as, a big tough guy. I drink, and if I get into trouble, so what? I know how to apologize to people, and they'll love me again, and I'll just go back drinking. I was done with that. I humbled myself, and I walked into the doors of AA, and that's what I needed. I don't push AA on anybody here listening. Never have, never will. I suggest if you're struggling and you need someplace, check out your local AA or NA. I always just listen. I took what I wanted and I left the rest. If I didn't agree with some things, I may just say, okay. Other times I'll sit down with somebody and say, listen, I don't really agree with this. But then the more I got thinking about it, it wasn't if I really truthfully agreed or didn't agree with what they were saying. The main thing was I wasn't going to drink over it, or I wasn't going to drink over anything. So that's the important part, because as I stated before in different podcasts, I knew a lot of people that went to AA, had some time in sobriety, and went back out drinking again and again and again. I know others, like myself, walked in the first time, and that was it. I met people that were just like me, too. After the first time, enough was enough. They said, I'm done, and that was it. I've always said alcohol is like a relationship, right? Sometimes the relationship is good, sometimes it's bad, but when that relationship starts to get toxic, you gotta leave. And that's what I did. I left. That's what a person needs to do if they're honest with themselves. If you're at this stage in your drinking or drugging where you think it's really toxic for you to continue, then you need to stop. There's no reason, truthfully, in my eyes right now, in my opinion, there's truthfully no reason anybody needs to be drugging. With all the shit that's out there, with all the stories you hear about with fentanyl and everything and the overdoses, man, there is no way in hell I would be doing anything regarding drug. I lost my own daughter to a drug overdose 4 years ago, and it's still difficult. She, was proud of my sobriety, and she put some time together. I would say, she abused drugs for about 10 years. She did put some time together being clean, but she went back out there, and we would often talk about it. And I said, man, if there was a way that I could have given her my sobriety and take what she had, and, she would be fine, and I would have to deal with what she was going through and, try to, get sober all over again, I guess, I would have gladly done it. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I'm really going to focus on, with this channel now, is just helping people. I'm going to have other people come on. I'm going to do interviews with them and let them share their experience. And hopefully maybe that'll get somebody thinking about their life and why they should, quit abusing drugs or alcohol. And also to remain that way. Because there's one thing to stop drinking or drugging, but it's a whole totally different game to continue it. I believe, we can all quit drinking and drugging for some length of time, but ultimately it has to be all the time in order to succeed, right? Once again, as I move forward with this channel, I'm going to just make sure it is definitely all about just the content. I'm taking myself out of it, the ego out of it. I'm not going to sit there and be really worried that I got the best graphic or I got, the lighting good or anything like that. It's just going to be, I'm put out some content that's straight from my heart, and hopefully other people that I have on the podcast, they're the same way. They just want to give you information to help you. Because the main thing is, I really would like to see if anyone who's struggling with alcohol abuse or drug abuse to finally say enough is enough and move forward with your life without abusing. So remember, don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. And I look forward to seeing you on my next podcast, which I guarantee you will be coming out soon. Thank you.
Think about your serenity. Be grateful for your sobriety. Staying sober with Papa Joey. We're staying sober with